Gardening didn't become easier when I learned more tricks. It became easier the moment I stopped doing the wrong things. That realization hit hard. For years I was working myself into exhaustion, chasing perfect rows, flawless leaves and massive harvests, all while wondering why the garden kept fighting back. The truth is simple and humbling. Nature doesn't reward control. It rewards cooperation. Once I started quitting habits that felt productive but were actually destructive, gardening transformed from a struggle into a rhythm. If you're feeling overwhelmed in your garden, these are the same things you should consider letting go of too. I stopped treating soil like dirt. The biggest shift happened when I quit tilling. Constantly digging, flipping and breaking soil felt like real work, but it was destroying the underground life that actually grows food. Instead of tearing the soil apart every season, I now leave it intact and build on top. A simple layer of compost spread over the bed is enough. Rain, worms, fungi and microbes do the rest. Water stays longer, roots go deeper, and plants stand stronger without extra effort. Sometimes the smartest move is stepping back and letting the soil breathe. I quit ripping plants out by the roots. Pulling spent plants felt clean and satisfying, but it stripped the soil of structure and nutrients. Now, when a plant finishes its job, I cut it at ground level and leave the roots behind. Those roots slowly decompose, feeding microbes and creating channels for air and water. Every season builds on the last instead of starting from zero. The garden improves quietly without me lifting a shovel. I stopped chasing fast results with quick feeds. Chemical fertilizers and fast-acting solutions promise instant growth, but they always come with a cost. Weak plants, pest outbreaks and dependency. I quit feeding plants directly and started feeding the soil instead. Compost is my foundation. When I do use a liquid feed, it's gentle and soil-focused. A simple compost tea made by soaking 1 shovel of finished compost in 5 gallons of water for 12 to 24 hours is enough to boost microbial life without forcing growth. Healthy soil builds slowly, but it lasts. I stopped watering on a schedule. Watering by the clock nearly ruined my plants. Shallow roots, stress during heat, and constant wilting were the result. Now I water based on the soil, not the calendar. If the soil is still moist a few inches down, I wait. This trains roots to grow deeper, making plants tougher and more resilient. Once roots learn to search, the garden becomes far more drought-tolerant and far less demanding. I stopped leaving soil bare. Bare soil is an invitation for weeds, erosion and moisture loss. Nature never leaves ground exposed, and neither should we. I now keep every inch covered with mulch or living plants. Straw, leaves, wood chips or dense planting all work. Moisture stays locked in, weeds struggle to emerge, and the soil stays cool and alive. This single change eliminated hours of weeding and watering every season. I quit overfeeding plants and started building strength. When I pushed plants to grow fast, they became weak and pest-prone. Soft growth attracts insects and disease. By focusing on organic matter and slow nutrition, plants now grow at a natural pace. They develop thicker cell walls, stronger stems, and better resistance. Healthy soil creates healthy plants without constant intervention. Strength comes from balance, not excess. I stopped fighting every bug I saw. For a long time, I treated every insect as an enemy. Sprays, traps, and panic followed the first chewed leaf. All that did was wipe out beneficial insects and create worse infestations later. Now I observe before reacting. Predators show up when the system is balanced. A few holes in leaves are a sign of life, not failure. When nature is allowed to manage itself, pest problems shrink instead of spreading. I quit cleaning the garden too much. Perfectly tidy gardens look nice, but they're lifeless. I stopped raking every leaf and cutting every stalk at the end of the season. Plant debris protects soil, shelters beneficial insects, and slowly turns into organic matter. That mess feeds the future garden. Less cleanup means more life, more fertility, and less work when spring arrives. I stopped planting without preparation. Throwing seeds into poor soil guaranteed weak plants and extra effort later. Now I prepare first. Compost goes down before planting, beds are levelled, and moisture is locked in. That small upfront investment saves weeks of correction. Strong starts mean fewer problems, faster growth, and better harvests. The garden rewards preparation far more than correction. I quit waiting too long to harvest and support plants. Waiting for giant vegetables slowed everything down. Plants produce more when harvested early and often. Smaller harvests taken regularly lead to bigger yields over time and better flavour. I also stopped waiting until plants flopped before adding support. Stakes and trellises go in at planting now. Early support prevents damage, keeps fruit clean, and reduces disease. A little foresight saves the entire season. The surprising truth is that gardening became easier when I stopped trying to dominate it. Control gave way to cooperation. Force gave way to patience. Every habit I quit removed friction instead of adding work. The garden now grows with me instead of against me. If this resonated with you, you're exactly who Farm Basic is for. Gardening doesn't have to be exhausting or overwhelming. It can be simple, grounded, and deeply rewarding when you work with nature instead of fighting it. If you found value here, subscribe to the Farm Basic YouTube channel for more nature-first, no-nonsense gardening strategies. Share this with someone who's feeling burned out in their garden. Sometimes the most powerful tool we have is knowing when to let go and let things grow.